All right, guys, welcome back to the Regal Shampoo studio and welcome back to Transformation Donation. Episode 18. We have Patrick in the chair who's ready to donate. Now, if Patrick only donates 1.5 inches hair, which I don't think you are, I would imagine, then we get our grand total of £250 and Kieran wins us £250 sterling. Now, we're at 248.5 inches, which I still can't get over. We've donated that much. I wonder where you're going to fit on this, Patrick. I wonder where you're going to sit on this one. Transformation Donation. Welcome to the chair, mate.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing this.
Yeah.
As you know, it's for a good cause. Trying to get to 1,000 inches, and we're at 248.5. So, what are you thinking today?
I want to go short.
Okay.
It's been years since
Okay.
I've been short.
Okay.
And I definitely want to get your take because I haven't had a professional haircut in almost 20 years. And so as an adult, I've never really had a professional haircut done. And
I wonder if anyone else watching, has anyone else not had a professional haircut as an adult? I'd like to know. Let us know in the comments if you have.
So yeah, I have a couple ideas in my head, but
Yeah.
definitely want to go shorter, maybe a little length still on the top to be able to style, play with.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Do you have images or anything of ideas? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what's inside your head.
Maybe something along those lines where I can kind of push it to the side.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Or that's just kind of loose, some waviness at the top still.
Nice. So yeah.
But clean on the sides.
Yeah. Do you think that looks a little bit do you think still, or do you want it a bit cleaner around the ears than what Jamie's?
Yeah, maybe a little cleaner around the ears than that.
Okay. Yeah, because they're quite natural. You see, a lot of actors don't tend to have sharp lines.
Okay.
I think it's for continuity in films, or sometimes you have to tweak the haircuts. But first of all, can I just say, well done on picking something that actually suits your hair texture.
Good.
That's
Okay.
amazing. Looking at your hair though, can I just have a little feel of it? I see how thick it is. Yeah. Because I've got a feeling this is going to be really thick. No, I'm wrong. It's not. It's like a medium density. That fills with hope, because when I saw your hair when you walked in, I was thinking, if you're going short, there's going to be a big voluminous head of hair, right? But with the texture of it, it's so, honestly, guys, watching, you'd think this would be like a rug, right? Super thick, but it's not. It's like a really medium density, which is brilliant, because you are then open to so much. So you could, in actual fact, maybe a good suggestion would be doing something that gives you freedom to achieve both them looks. Yeah. So you know the way Jamie's is kind of just up and curly and like kind of just a little bit textured. Doesn't look messy. It just looks styled. And then you've got Henry Cavill's, who's got that kind of parting. He's got like a part, and as at the moment it's kind of, you see that almost that Superman wave in a way, isn't it? I think with your density of hair, I reckon you could just do both of those if we cut it uniform.
Perfect.
So we just do a general kind of classic men's haircut with a bit more length on top, clean back and sides, scissor cut though, yeah.
That'd probably be preferred.
Yeah, I'd say so for them haircuts.
I had a lot of years where I did clippers myself, and
I have a slight phobia.
Yeah.
I get that. Okay, so yeah, I definitely think like a scissor cut back and sides, and then just cut it to a length that you can do a couple of things with. So if you want to push it over to one side, you can. If you want to lift it off your face a bit more, you can. If it falls down a touch, it's okay. Yeah. Maybe if we do that length, that could be a really good starting point. So if this is your first professional haircut, let's not go crazy. Let's do something that is like something that you can actually achieve at home, that I can guide you through. Very minimal effort, but enough that you know if you change the product, you can change the look. And I think that's probably the best starting point for you going to a new hairstyle, I would say.
That sounds amazing.
You found it? Yeah, fine with that? Yeah.
Yeah, because to have a little bit of flexibility with it sounds great.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I'm not locked in.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And your job, what do you do?
I'm a physiotherapist.
Okay. Yeah. So how have you found that with the long hair?
Not great.
Okay.
I work in a hospital, so I have to like pull it back, and then I have to get it kind of wet, and otherwise there's strays that kind of go crazy.
Obviously you can't like.
It looks very different at work.
Yeah, I can imagine. You must look very different outside of work when you. Yeah. Okay. So again, a haircut that's easy as well. I guess you know if you're doing long hours, if you up it very early in the mornings, you want something you can just maybe put like, say for example, one day you fancy something a bit wetter looking, so you put maybe a pomade in it. If you want something that's going to give you a bit more hold, you can throw a paste in or a clay. I think having the options and the choice will be a good starting point for a new look. So yeah, should we do that?
Great.
All right, cool. Yeah. Right, well let's get you gowned up and then we'll start cutting this hair off, and let's see how much I can get for you, because we're still scissor cutting it. We're going short, but because we're still doing a scissor cut, I still think I can go fairly short. Okay. So let's see what we can do. All right, let's see how many ways I can tie it up. All right, man. Cool. Right, let's get you gowned up then. So how are you feeling, Patrick?
Excited, nervous.
Yeah.
kind of all the things. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I asked this to everybody. Have you told anyone yet? Does anyone know you're here?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, right, if you look back to some of the previous videos, some of the guys never even told their wives, right? They would even come in here. So that was a big, bold statement. Have you got anyone at home or anyone in work that is looking forward to seeing it?
No one knows at all, but everyone's going to be shocked for
Wow.
sure. Yeah. None of my coworkers have ever seen me with short hair. A lot of people that I've met in the area that I live have never seen me with short hair, so it's going to be...
Wow, man. That's
going to be a
awesome.
surprise for sure.
And yeah, definitely, mate, definitely. What's made you decide to want to take it all off then?
You know, I've been thinking about it for probably almost a year now.
Yeah.
And I had my hair about this long one other time in my life. The last time I got a professional haircut was 17 years ago, and it was to donate it.
Oh, wow.
And so I thought, I knew if I was going to go short again, that I wanted to be able to donate it again.
Wow.
And lo and behold, the video popped up on my feed that was talking about this transformation donation thing.
Wow.
So I just thought, well, I'll just throw my name in there and see what happens. And
lo and behold.
Yeah, lo and behold.
Wow.
Didn't expect to hear back, but I did.
That's amazing, man.
Yeah. So I thought, good reason to cut it, to be able to donate it. Good excuse to go on a little travel to London.
100%. Where are you from?
California.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow. So how long have you been in London for?
3 nights.
3 nights?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So you come over for this?
Yeah, I kind of planned some things around this. So,
wow.
Did a few things, doing this today, and then flying to Switzerland tonight.
Absolutely awesome. Oh, well, thank you very much. That's really, really appreciative.
Yeah, no, thank you. It was hard to find people in my area that were knew how to do it to donate.
Oh, really?
This was great. This was awesome. Yeah.
So are you just like the guy with long hair then, are you? Is that your...
Kind of.
Because that's what we've noticed, and having these kind of conversations, is that guys with long hair just become the friend with long hair. You know, that's the identity of somebody.
Yeah.
Would you say that's become your identity a little bit? Would you say just you're the guy with long hair?
I think in some ways, yeah. There's definitely going to be people that I know that are not going to connect who I am at all without it. Yeah. I mean, because that's even happened. My hair looks so different at work because it's pulled back in such a tight bun that I've seen people outside of work that didn't recognize me with the hair down like this.
Well, it looks short. That's why. If you think about it, if you tie it all the way back, it's like you've got a buzz cut, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
if you think about the actual, if you think how short it looks straight on it, if you could hide the bun at the back, you probably wouldn't even see. You wouldn't see it. It would look like you've just got a very, very short haircut. So in a way, maybe people at work will notice it a little bit, or maybe not be so surprised, but maybe if there's people outside of there that friends and stuff like that who've never seen you with anything other than outside of work hair, then it could be a different story then, couldn't it? Which would be interesting.
That's a good point. I haven't really thought of that, but
yeah. Right, Patrick, are you ready?
Yeah.
Any last requests?
No, just do it.
Just get rid of these. Yeah. Just get rid of these.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Ready to go? Number one. Look at the colours in that. That is amazing, that, isn't it? I know there's people out there who die for hair coloured like that, honestly.
I had two, this sounds really vain, I don't mean it vain, but I had 2 women compliment me on my hair recently.
Really?
I thought, that made me feel good about donating it. Like, oh, good. If there's some women that really think it's good looking hair, then maybe it'll make a good wig.
Oh, yeah, 100%, yeah, definitely. I've got clients called John, and his hair is like yours, but it's very dark. We're a bit of white in it now. And he always gets complimented. Everywhere he goes, he gets complimented. Even going to through border security at at airports, he's got this huge beard and this big long curly hair. And I was like, you look at his passport and go, cool hair and beard. He's like, thanks. No, normally they're just a bit a bit mundane, they're a bit stern looking, the security, aren't they,
Yeah.
They always give him compliments. I'm like, wow, you must be the only person in history who gets a compliment from them. There we go. Right, guys, we've now got our game. How many inches is it? I always laugh when I think of that game. That could be misconstrued so many ways, couldn't it? So guys, 10 seconds. Starts. Come on, Liam.
Okay.
Go. How many inches? What do you think?
I'd say 14.
I'm going 16. Right, time's up. Go on, Liam. 17. Okay. It's quite varied. I did say 20 at the start, didn't I? I said 20 at first, didn't I? But I've got a feeling it's going to be, I've got a feeling it's about 16, I think. But we'll see. Right. What we'll do now is we'll give this a shampoo condition, and then I'll get cutting the back and sides for you, mate. Get sort this out for you, all right? Right, guys. So Patrick's hair is now a real proper blank canvas. Shampoo conditioned. So what we'll do, we'll start on the back and sides, cut them down to the length that I think I'm looking at, like Jamie Dornan's length on that picture, where it was a little bit, I want to kind of cut to that length, but take it off the ears and tidy it up. You okay with that length, yeah?
No, that sounds
sweet.
good.
All right, cool. You've done really well though. Your hair is in really good condition. Like you've done really well to have such long curly hair and keep it in that condition. Like I know, if you look at the video, I had brushed that out, so it wasn't a true reflection of what Patrick walked in with. It was it was really, really lovely curls. So yeah, well done. So I know it's not an easy thing to do. It's a very hard thing to do. So well done on that one.
Part of the credit goes to my cousin. She was the one that cut some of the dead ends and stuff. Yeah, she would trim off a little
What's
bit.
What's your cousin's name?
Joy.
Well done, Joy.
Yeah.
Well done. I approve. Yeah. Right, so we're just working our horseshoe section in now. So again, do this, build the foundations, brand new haircuts, brand new style, brand new client, brand new hair texture. Going to start with the back and sides to build it up. And again, most of the hair we've cut off is through the back and sides. The reason I started on, I've done the 4 sections, by the way, was because Patrick's fringe was quite short. There was quite a little bit of it. Joy had done a face framing layer by the looks of it, onto Patrick's hair. So I want to try and get as much of the hair accumulated into one section as I could. So that's why I did the 4. But it's left a good length, look. It's gone to a really nice length. So I've kind of already got a guideline there, really, that I'm gonna work towards. So there we go. Slightly heart-shaped face, I would say, Patrick's got. I would say so. So yeah, a little bit more length on the back and sides benefits that. So I think, staying away from a fade is probably a good shout, if I'm honest with you. So how long was it since you got your last cut then?
The last time I cut it myself, I buzzed it off. So I grew it out from kind of a buzz cut. It's probably 4.5 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Wow.
And then there was a chunk of time a couple years ago where a lot of it was kind of like split and dead on ends of it. So that was when my cousin kind of took over to take care of the dead ends on it. But
then Joy jumped in.
Yeah.
Nice. Right, guys, well, I'm going to work palm to palm on this one. And then I'm going to do some scissor over comb around the bottom and then some trim over comb as well. So we're going to be doing small sections. So we're doing 1 finger width section. Now, if you've seen any of the previous videos, I'll have done 3 finger width if we're keeping length in it. I'll have to do 2 finger width if we're going for like a medium, so like taking a medium amount off or just an average amount off. And I'll do a 1 finger width section if we're going short. So how come you ended up just not getting like a professional haircut as an adult then? How did that sort of start?
Well, so in undergrad, college, I just would end up either cutting it myself a lot or just ask friends to do it because I just didn't really care that much.
Yeah.
And then I guess into adulthood would have family or friends just give it a go. It was mostly a thing of just like, I don't want to spend money on this for a long time. And that sense. Kind of bled later into more adult life because then when I was in grad school to get my physiotherapy degree, it just was cutting costs as much as I could. So I thought haircut's an easy way to save money and
or lack of haircuts.
And then COVID hit, and then I never thought because I had this length in high school and in college, I never thought I would have it this long again. And then, I think that probably happened with a lot of people with COVID. People grew out their hair unexpectedly. And
100%. But yeah, that was. But we had some cracking DIY cuts and mullets. That I'm surprised the mullet trend never started sooner than last year, really, because a lot of the Zoom haircut during lockdown was a mullet. It was just guys trimming the sides up and the top, but leaving the back because you couldn't see it, essentially.
Yeah.
So I was like, I wonder why that never actually come about quicker. But I don't know. Maybe that's where the Aussies got their ideas for the mullets from. I don't know. Does it feel weird sitting in a chair then in a shop?
Yeah, I mean,
And
you
obviously you've got a camera in your face as well, so probably a little bit more weird than it normally would be, I guess.
It's good though. It's very comfortable.
That's good. That's what I like to hear.
Just sit on a stool.
Think of the poor person cutting your hair. The back that he or she's going to have off working on a stool, mate, I'll tell you. Honestly, the amount of like haircuts I've done in hotels and, when I started off doing them in like kitchens and people's like back gardens and stuff, you just forget like how much just a chair with a pump, you know what I mean? Just that alone is just changes the game. So as you can see, guys, I'm working through my fingers, maintaining a bit more length at the top up here, and then doing a graduation down to the nape. This is going to allow us to still maintain, again, we're looking at profile as well, so we still want to make sure the head shape looks good side on. And from every angle, really, that's what we're aiming for. Just like that. So this is what I would say would be finger length, Patrick. So, future reference for haircuts, finger length through the back and sides, I would say. All right. So, because I guess you're not going to be a regular.
Yeah.
So I'll give you advice. All right. I don't tell people who live here that though, just in case they become a regular,
No, I definitely would if I was local, for sure.
Well, that's all. It's a privilege to have you in the chair, mate. It's the fact that you've made the journey, and it's also your first adult haircut professionally. I think it's a double whammy for me, that, mate. I don't think I've done that before.
Yeah, no pressure.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Well, there isn't any pressure, mate. If I'm honest with you, because your experience of a haircut is DIY. So
that's true. Yeah.
If anything, this is the least pressured haircut I've got today.
Very low standard.
So, physiotherapist, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What made you decide on that career?
It was kind of a long journey to get to it. I dabbled in a lot of different stuff, but I was pretty sure I wanted to do something in healthcare, and at least in the States, like that's one of the careers where you can really spend time with people.
Yeah.
A lot of other ones, it's very quick interactions with people. So
yeah.
Sometimes I'll be with people for 30, 45 minutes. So other than their nurses, it's sometimes like the longest interaction they get with clinicians. So
yeah, that's nice. Now, do you like working with people?
Yeah. I mean, there's a variety, as I'm sure you probably experienced too. That some people you like more than others, but
well, I think when you work with the general public, that's the beauty and the gamble, right? Is that you don't know who's coming in. You don't know what personality you're going to get in the chair or in your in your hospital, right? You just don't know. And I think that's one thing I love about it is that like the thing I love personally is just meeting loads of people. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I think everyone's got a really interesting story. Yeah. And some you click with, some you don't. But that's the beauty, because there's some friends that I've got who are clients but have become friends who, in a normal walk of life, I probably wouldn't knock about with them, if I'm honest with you. They're probably not my kind of humour or people or something like that. But in the chair, you learn something new, or you have a really interesting chat about something. And another thing as well, it's interesting to see how we're all pretty much the same underneath. You know what I mean? Yeah. We might have different beliefs and different views on the world and stuff, but in reality, we're all kind of pretty much the same. And I think this job showed me that, you know what I mean? And that's why I love it personally. Yeah. I mean, because I think similarly for you and for me, it could get very monotonous if you let it. But people working with different people, that's what keeps it going. Yeah, definitely. That's what keeps it exciting, really, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. Just not knowing who's coming in, you know what I mean? It is when you get like a new client coming, you're thinking, oh no, this guy's going to look like, wonder what he's going to have, you know what I mean? Like it's that like, the element of surprise. That's kind of what it is, really. It's like not knowing who's who, what, and again, I think naturally we'll get somebody's name and we'll kind of cold read them a little bit. You know what I mean? Like unintentionally. So, you get like a Paul in. I don't know, I just instantly think of like a guy with straight hair who wants a skin fade. I don't know why, I just instantly do. Do you get what I mean? And I think you just, I think you just naturally sort of wonder what they're going to be like, you know?
Yeah.
And then they come and, you know, they're nothing like you imagined, you know what I mean? Which again is great. Sometimes they come and they're exactly what you imagined, which is even weirder, so.
Yeah. No, I do the same thing too when I look at
you
charts
do,
and stuff.
yeah.
You kind of build this picture of a person, then you walk in the room like, oh.
Yeah, exactly that, yeah, exactly. That's particularly quite apparent when you're working like a walk-in barbershop. Because obviously you don't know any names or anything at all, so you have no idea that morning who's going to be in that day. You might have like, you know, your regulars it's a Friday and the regulars will be coming in, but like other than that, you never know who's going to come in. That's one of the things I used to love about working in the walk-in barbers was you just never know who's going to come in. You don't know what character you're going to end up with, you know, in the chair. I think there's something really quite amazing about that. Right, there we go. So I'm going to work onto the trimmers now. There's the back and sides. Okay. That must look so weird to you right now.
Yeah.
When was the last time you had it this short? Was it 5 years ago when you buzzed it?
Yeah, I mean, it probably took maybe, 6 months or something to start to grow out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's been at least 4 years.
Wow. And how short did you go on the buzz?
Maybe I don't actually know the numbers very well, but it was probably one of the longer. I tried to do one of the longer ones because I remember at one time in my life I did a really short one, and the color of my hair is so close to the color of my skin, it didn't didn't look great.
Didn't look like you had hair.
Yeah.
So we're just doing a tidy up around the ears, so we're not going to loop it around the ear massively. Don't want it to look really obvious. I just kind of want it to look, for Patrick and for anyone looking, that he's had a haircut, essentially. So we're not doing anything that's going to be like really super tapered or anything like that at all. Just something that's neat and tidy. So just try and keep it as close to the hairline as possible. Again, Patrick strikes me as the kind of guy who lets his hair grow out. I don't know what gave that idea apart from the potential 16 inches over there. But, I don't want to do something where I'm cutting really far into his hairline because that will grow out very, very quickly. And don't forget, this is Patrick's first time sitting in the barber chair for 20 years potentially, right? So we don't want to have him going back every 2 weeks to get it freshened up. So I'm not going to cut too far into the hairline. It's still going to be neat and tidy, but I'm going to be using this tapering method where you just basically expose the hairline with the comb just to then clean it up. That's literally all I'm doing. Can you see, look, I'm keeping it really just at the very widest point to where there's still a nice line. So in terms of reactions from people, who do you think is going to give you the biggest and probably loudest scream in their reaction?
Probably my mom.
Yeah.
I think, my brother has very muted reactions, so I think he'll be surprised and happy, but I don't think he's gonna be shocked.
Is that the brother who watches our channel?
Yeah.
Okay. What about Joy? How do you think Joy's gonna feel?
I think
she's gonna feel jealous, is she? Am I
no.
gonna make her jealous because I've got you in the chair?
No, I'm gonna show her this video and say, look, see how he's doing all this. Are you able to replicate
Liam, cut it, mate. Hide the major steps, Liam. Let's not lose a client,
But yeah, she'll be excited too. I mean, I think I'm gonna have a big reaction at work actually, even though it, like you said, it visually won't look crazy different. I think just because everyone I've worked with has never known me with short hair at all.
True,
I think that'll be a pretty...
Do you socialise much outside of work with your colleagues?
Occasionally, yeah. And that's so some of them have seen the...
That must be like a L'Oreal advert when you just flick your hair out when you go into a bar, No, yeah, definitely. And when do you go back? When are you going back to work?
In about 4 or 5 days.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, if it wasn't for my uniform, I think if I walked into our office, you would be like, how did this guy get in here?
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah. Are you going to have to get a new ID?
Maybe.
Maybe you might,
I don't know. I like that. I'll just try to hang on to the one for memories.
Yeah. I'm just thinking when you go and introduce yourself to somebody in the waiting room or something or whatever, and you see this picture, looking with your name on it and then they see you. It's going to look like a very different person, isn't it? Right, so there's the back and sides done pretty much. Do a little fine tuning when it dries off in a little bit. How's that length looking for you?
Yeah,
Happy,
that's great.
So that is like basically finger length on the side. So it still is good. It doesn't look like it's been clipped in the slightest. There's still a nice little bit of movement in there as well. You can see, so you can still do something with that. Yeah. So I'm going to cut the top to match the back and sides essentially. Obviously it'll be a bit longer, but I'm going to cut it just so it's completely uniform. All right.
Perfect.
So horizontal sections to connect. Again, we're not looking to keep any difference of length at the front, so we're just going to use this just to purely connect in to the top. So a little bit of length. The crowning. Now I'm going to start this side as well, so I'm going to connect the sides in first, then I'm going to cut through the top. So did you ever sort of, obviously when you've grown it out and stuff, did you ever think of like trying like a completely new look, as in like, a mullet or anything like that at all? Did you think when you come to cut it off? Or did you want something a bit more like working with the hair type and easy? I
definitely thought of some different ideas, but I think the biggest thing I wasn't sure about was what my hair would do when it was short again, because I feel like in the past I didn't really style it very well, probably, or put the right stuff in it so it would kind of frizz out. So I thought my thought was like, oh, if I try like a mullet or something more trendy, it's not gonna quite go there, but yeah. But also, I think just the practicality of work, and I mean, honestly, I like just the ease of wanting something that's I could make seem professional enough for work in a quicker amount of time.
Of course.
Just the ordeal of the hair, like after working out or getting it wet, was just made it so much harder to do stuff before work or
and also enjoy, right, as well. To enjoy it too,
Yeah.
You don't really want to enjoy it when something's feeling very like a bit of a chore, should we say. I think in some ways it just makes you not want to do more stuff. So you think, well, because I've heard this quite a lot from people where they're like, well, when my hair was long, I didn't want to go like the gym a lot because I couldn't be bothered with having to wash it after the gym or having to keep getting it wet. That was one of the biggest things I always remember hearing, was that like it stopped people from doing things that they love to do because it was so much of a hassle afterwards. Yeah. Which kind of I get that, I can see where you're coming from with that. I mean, this could not be an easier beach look if you tried, mate, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah.
That's simple, dead easy. Uniform, cuts in, matches the face shape. Bit of product done, that's literally it. Just bring the haircut to life. That's all you need to do.
I'm excited for that because, there have been some things that I've said no to or just kind of stopped doing at certain times of the day, or knowing like, well, if I do that, I need this amount of time to get ready for that. And So I feel like this will give some of that freedom back.
100%, mate, without a doubt. I think we've had maybe one other person who's done it twice, so that's a pretty cool thing to say you've done, right?
Yeah, it's not something I ever thought I'd be able to do a second time in my life, but I'm really, really stoked to be able to do it. And that's why that was like such a big draw too, to come here, of obviously having seen some of your videos and knowing how amazing you are, but just to them, but also like, just that idea of that made it way more palatable to be like, I'll go on a little trip, I'll play around it, and then also I know my hair is going to go to a good cause when it's done. So
exactly that. Well, once we get to 1,000 inches, we're going to try and like record as much of it as we can of the donation side of things and stuff. So that's the plan. Hopefully, I don't know if the charities will let us, but the idea would be great if we could actually go there or hand deliver it ourselves, and or whatever it might be. We're still kind of we're still sort of working out how we want to kind of, or how we can show that to people. Because I think the thing is, it sounds great on a video, I'm going to donate the hair, but then I think people do question if you're doing it or not, whether you're actually genuinely going to do it, you know what I mean? I think some people can get a bit like funny on that. So we want to kind of show the start to finish process, you know what I mean? From like episode 1 right straight through to the final, whatever we get to in inches, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we only need another, you know, I think we could probably do this in less than 100 people, potentially.
Wow.
Which would be really cool. You know, if you think about it now, we're a quarter of the way through. We're definitely a quarter of the way through. So it's only 18 people, you know what I mean? So if we're going at the same rate, then that'll be pretty cool, won't it?
Yeah. What inspired you to think like, oh, we should just go for 1,000?
I think it was just a large number that was just so out there. It was a bit like, it was more the fact that, is it doable? Do you know what I mean? And if it isn't, let's try and make it doable.
Yeah.
And, you know, let's just see as much as we can get. That was basically what it was, Liam, wasn't it, really? It was just we never like sort of sat down and said, let's do 1,000 and this is the reason why. It was just like, what number do you think? 1,000, all right, let's do 1,000. That was kind of it, really. You know what I mean? It wasn't really anything else. It was a very minimal chat, if I'm honest with you. It was just a number that we threw out. We were like, yeah, all right, let's do 1,000. I mean, I remember when Liam mentioned 1,000, I was like, that's going to be a tough one to do that, man. 1,000's a lot of inches, you know. But as you've seen already, it's you know, it's going to be doable. We just, you know, we'd like to get there as fast as we can. That would be ideal if we could, you know, try and get there, like, you know, in the next, I don't know, say like, try and get there, like, try and have a number like say 50, right? 50 people we get there, you know, that'd be cool. Like, you know, because obviously when people have donated more hair essentially, so that'll be cool. But as long as we get there, man, I don't really care. You know? That's the main thing is just getting there. You know what I mean? What did you first think when you saw the transformation series? Was it something that you thought, oh, I'll watch this, I'll see how they get on?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, oh, maybe this will give me some ideas.
Yeah, some inspiration.
Yeah, especially when I saw there, you know, there definitely have been guys with that kind of curlier, wavier hair. And so thinking like, oh, maybe I'll have an idea when they're done. And yeah, didn't think I would end up being part of it, but here I am.
Didn't you know? Did you not think that? No?
Yeah, I don't know. I just thought, well, I don't know. It just felt so far removed that I was like, well, I'll just do it for fun. But
no, we're real.
Yeah,
we're real. Anyone can do it.
Yeah,
that's it. Honestly, it doesn't matter where you live. We're always here. We film one day a month. So if anyone wants to come in, if anyone's still and ahhing whether they want to do it or not, you know, I think everyone should do it at some point. You know, I wish I could have donated my hair. I didn't have enough hair when I grew mine out, unfortunately. I wish I had done it, but. Yeah, it would have been quite nice to do that. That's one thing I slightly regret about when I cut my hair off, was that I never donated it. But it wasn't long enough to do, you know, unfortunately.
Was it close or was it? No.
No. I think it was only about 5 inches long, you know, it wasn't much, but it was long enough though, you know, it was long enough for me, get what I mean? So
yeah,
it's long enough for me to struggle with. That's all, I can definitely say that. But yeah, it wasn't long enough to do anything. It wasn't nothing like yours, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I remember, like, to me, that middle ground was always the hardest, where it was long-ish, but not really long enough to, like, pull back behind my ears, or, like, kind of that in-between, that's what I had a hard time with. So when I got past that point, then I was like, well, I might as well just keep going.
That's it. When you do have a certain point, don't you, where you're like, you know what? Once I've got past this, I might as well just continue. There's something about growing your hair out, and I'm sure people watching can relate. You get a bit, what would be the word? You get a little bit kind of possessive over it a little bit. You kind of like, you don't want to do anything different. You don't want anyone else to do nothing to it. You want to have the haircut, and you know what I mean? It does get a bit like that. I've noticed, like, you know, you get a little bit precious around it. But I think the same thing with beards as well for guys, because a lot of guys grow beards and then they get very scared who cuts them. Because they've been either doing them themselves, or they're a bit like, oh no, I don't really want to cut it in case it goes too short or whatever. And I think that's what people end up getting. I think people get a little bit precious about it, and I think that's what guys get like with the hair. They're very nervous about who cuts it and what to get done and stuff like that, you know. Which I get, I totally get. Right, so I'm gonna dry this off for you now, all right?
Okay.
I'm gonna put a little bit of serum in this as well, just to keep the hair nice and fresh. And now, all you've got to do is style it the way you want to style it, okay? So if you want to still bring it over to one side, you've got the shape there to do it. So there you go. That's it over to one side, if you want it. That's how easy it is, because it's all cut in the same shape and the same length, you see.
Yeah.
So everything sits to the face shape, everything's balanced. You've got the corners in there still, so when that dries, you've got that nice square, boxy shape. But you can, obviously, if you want to make it like Jamie Dornan, just put a bit of heat on it. So do you want to see what they'll look like with both?
Sure.
Yeah. Cool, man. So Jamie's is probably blow dried up a little bit. So I'm going to dry this off, nozzle on. I'm just going to dry this through. And just get a bit of height in that film. Just using your fingers and a nozzle. Just like that, right? So you can see you've got that natural side part anyway, because of where your crown is and where your hair's wanting to go. But Jamie Dornan's is pretty much like that, but a bit messier, right? Right, so that's the first bit, just dried off. Now, obviously you don't have to do it every day if you don't want to, right? If you want to, just put some product in where it's towel dried and brush it around. Okay. That's it, okay? The main thing is it's in the shape, okay? Now, if I put a little bit of clay in this one, which will be really nice for you, clay gives you a bit of weight, so it's not going to be like too voluminous. Okay. But the main thing is it's going to hold its shape, and it's the most, probably the most pliable one you'll get. Okay, so even towards the end of your working day, just run your hands through it, it's still there. Okay, it doesn't disappear. Okay, perfect. Doesn't set. It just stays in the hair essentially, right? So once you've blow dried it, just work it through, just like this. Up at the front now, as you can see, you can wear this up and messy like this. You've got it up off your face. You can emphasize the curl by scrunching if you want to. You can do that the Henry Cavill thing where it's kind of parted over, and you bring it right across. If you want to, you know, it just depends what you want to do. You can do Jamie Dornan where it's just a little bit messy and a bit up like that and a bit textured. It's your call, mate, really. You know what I mean? So I'll style one way and you can let me know what you think, okay? So I'm going to go with the way your hair falls naturally. So I'm just going to run this down. I'm going to bring this up and over because that's one thing you showed me earlier on. It's like an autopilot of yours to do that. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to work with this natural part that's already in there from the long hair. And then I'm going to flatten that bit down there, just like that. Just run my fingers through, just get that nice loose, little bit of wave in it. There we go. So that works with your double crown, that works with the length on the sides and the back, and it works with your face shape too. Yeah. Simple, right? Yeah. A lot easier than what you've been doing now. Yeah, you know? Way easier. So it's probably, you know, it's probably one of the easiest haircuts you'll have besides having a buzz cut or long hair. It's just having the uniform, top heavy, little bit top heavy, shorter back and sides, nice and tidy, and then just being able to put a bit of product in. That's the simplest thing you can possibly do. But just working with the way your hair wants to naturally fall. There's no point in fighting the curls. Okay. Because you've got them for life, mate. So, you know what I mean? I wouldn't try and fight them. Happy? Yeah. Cool. Amazing. Yeah. Thank you very much, Patrick. Thank you. You're very welcome. I'll show you the back and sides as well. I know, I can imagine, mate, honestly. It's weird, you know, because like what you're seeing now, I've already kind of worked this out in my head of what you're going to look like, you know? But because we've gone through it and I've been going through it and through it and through it, going shorter and shorter and shorter, the end result isn't a shock to me. Whereas I can imagine it will be for you. Yeah. The back and side. So as you can see, you've got a nice double crown going on there. So we've worked with the crown, we've kept length in the crown. So it becomes part of the style. Nice and tidy around the edges, but nothing overly dramatic, you know? It doesn't drag anything away from the haircut itself by putting a fade in there or nothing. And then the shape is just sitting there working with that nice little natural part you got going on. It just brushes over. Yeah. You're amazing. Thank you. I stand by what I said before. I'm glad you like it, mate. The main thing is you've done this for a good cause, so we're not done yet. I'm going to measure how much hair you're donating. Yeah. Right, what I need you to do, if you don't mind, will you just hold it on the hair tie there for me? Right, guys, so you said what, 15? Did you say? I said 14. Yeah. Okay. So I said 16, Liam, you said 17, right? Let's see where we're at. So is that on the end? Yeah? Yeah. 15 inches. Yeah, 15 inches. So none of us are right. So 15 inches. Wow. It's not bad, eh? No. All lads, it all counts, mate. It all counts. Yeah. So what I need you to do now, if you don't mind, is just write your name or signature, whatever you prefer, on the bottom there. And I'll give you a drawing pin so you can pop it up on the leaderboard. So you're level with Cush. 15. There you go. Patrick.
Cheers, man. Thanks so much.
Mate.
Really
Thank you
appreciate
very much,
it.
mate. Honestly, it's been a pleasure, mate.
Yeah.
I'm glad I could be the first person to do your haircut as an adult, mate. So
you set a very high standard now because I went from down here to up here. So
well, at least you got a video to show.
That's true.
So if you if you love this haircut and it grows out the way you want it to and stuff, you've got video footage of what you need to ask for.
Perfect.
So
yeah.
please feel free to show that to Joy or to anyone else. All right.
Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you guys again so much. Really appreciate it.
You're very welcome, mate. Thank you. Right, guys. So I've got to update the total. So the total is 263.5. So with that new grand total, that means, Kieran, you are our winner of £250. So what we'll do, Liam will get in touch with you, drop you an email and just tell us where you want the money sent to and we'll send it over. So congratulations on that. But it's not all about money. It's about the grand total of 1,000 inches. So even if you think you've got 9 inches, you've got 28 inches, apply, come on in. Help us reach that grand total of £1,000. I've got one little surprise. What's this? What's this? What does this look like, Liam? Now we've reached our grand total of 250, like we said, we now have something called transformation rotation. So the next episode, you will see somebody spinning this wheel and finding out what they must get.